Trigger warning. This video contains sensitive material. Topics discussed may be difficult for some to watch and will include maladaptive eating, talk of death, and cancer treatments. If this type of content is not one you are comfortable watching, then I recommend clicking away. There is a lot of medical misinformation given by the creator I am reacting to, and I will not hold back as an RN.
Ray, this is Life and Vibe, and this is part 2 of alignment conversation with Brendon Burchard, that Jessie Lee Ward had about a month ago. And she then, after her conversation, she then live streamed the conversation. So I released part 1. This is part 2 of this amazing alignment conversation, and I will just jump into this. And so let's just get started. And again, before I get started, if you like this type of content, please comment below, please subscribe to my channel, please hit the likes, all that sort of stuff. I don't really have a lot of social media presence as far as advertising this channel. I do go into people's live streams and make comments about MLM and other type of, health and wellness, personal growth type scam artists. And I don't go in under this name. So anyway, I'm trying to keep that name quiet because it might be the ones I go and, do my other investigations in. But anyway, if you are interested in content that talks about, highlighting the problematic behaviors of health and wellness scammers and people that are just making money off of that type of industry, which is unregulated, then you'll like this type of content here on this channel. So anyway, let's just get started into part 2. If you want to see part 1, hit the links.
Moments like that, we had a conversation, he said, moments like that come through clarity. And I said, I love that, because I actually am very much in alignment with that. I'm selling off things and businesses of mine that I just don't really care about and they don't excite me. I'm getting really clear on the 2 things I care about. I care a lot about my network marketing business, and I care like crazy about my education coaching business. And I started talking about it. He said, you are very excited about your education. I can hear it in your voice. I said, it is my passion. I love getting on the accelerator calls, and I love coaching people.
I'm sorry. I always have to find it amusing when they talk about how much they love education when I don't actually know if any of them hold a college degree. So anyway, I'll let them continue, but that to me is they love talking like they can educate everybody. She likes, making money. Just anyway, let them go on.
And I love watching the light bulbs go off. And I love when they come back to me and they say, now I'm making $10,000 a month. I'm making $20,000 a month. Somebody just messaged me, said I'm making $100,000 a month because of your accelerator program. I have the screenshot, right? And I said, I feel so in alignment with my purpose. It comes easy to me when I coach and when I train and when I speak. I just love it.
I don't want to keep interrupting because I have a tendency to then just waffle on for an hour. But it's just all about the money. I just don't, anyway, it's really all about the money. Everyone wants to make a certain amount of money to enjoy a lifestyle, but this is just an obsession beyond belief. Anyway.
And he said, that's because you're in alignment with who you are. You're so in alignment with where you are in your businesses. That's why you're thriving in that. And if you're not in the accelerator, you can comment the word coach, because you should be. Or just DM me the word coach, or text coach to 972-236-7576. Or DM me, help me, send me a link. Just do something. Send smoke signals. Drop flames if you need to be in the accelerator. You're actually losing money by not being in my accelerator program. And that is
no, you're not. Okay? No, you're not. I'm sorry. I'm going to debunk that immediately. You are not losing money by not being in this. I'm sorry. I need to actually see real hard numbers other than you just making wild statements that all these folks are making all this money. Maybe a couple of people who are are just oh God, it's not. She just wants to say, oh, everybody's jealous. No, I promise you, the situation you're in, I have no jealousy of. I have cared for people at end of life with cancer because I also was a hospice RN. I hate to say this, I've been in the industry for a while. And, sorry, my voice is strained. I'm getting really excited here. I'm getting as excited as she is. I need to be more calm. But it's, oh my gosh, I'm just so overwhelmed by just the hypocrisy of these people that I cannot even keep my words straight. Let's get back to it.
That is a fact. I could actually probably prove that to you. So DM me wherever you're watching, because I think it was a bad idea to tell you to drop coach, because I don't think I'll be able to have the comments after. So whoopsies, send me a DM, okay? But you need to align with what you want in your life. And he said, in those white spaces of moments, and I just love this, because how many of you know what I mean when I say the white spaces of moments, where you have those minutes to yourself where you go, I have creativity right now because I've slowed down and it's enabled me then to speed up. Those white spaces of moments, he goes, that's where you find flow.
I'm sorry, I deal with things very pragmatically. Obviously, studying to be a nurse practitioner, I don't want to keep harping on about that, but in some ways I do, because it shows I have true licensing and credentials and experience in order to be able to make some sort of educated statement on this and reaction, and finding that her thinking that she's the coach and aligned and the white space in her time and all this, I just know. I don't know. It's just she's really on a tangent. I think I don't want to talk about brain metastasis or anything, because I don't think that's what's going on.
That's where you find alignment. You don't find that when you're running all over the place, right? You don't find that when you're trying to do way too many things at once and you don't have clarity. And I just thought that was really powerful. He said alignment.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would agree that, you need to focus on one task at a time. That generally is going to be much better than really multitasking 1,000 things at once, because it takes more effort to have your mind in a million places than in one place. But often in work, especially in my work, you're managing multiple patients at a time, and therefore you are juggling multiple things at a time.
Plus harmony, plus simplicity. And I said, equals amazing. Isn't that so great? Like, alignment plus harmony plus simplicity equals amazing. And so we started talking about maybe the flows you use, whether it's you write a book.
And this man has made $170 million for that. Just think about that. Let that register, okay? Please, people, let that register. I know everybody wants to be positive and nobody wants to be negative and so on. And I understand. But there comes a time when a certain dose of realism into this is also needed. And listening to people who are just... I mean, this woman's going to literally kill herself because she has no real ability to make decisions outside of the woo-woo MLM and, personal growth scam culture.
It leads you into a membership program, leads you to a podcast. We went through and through with all this stuff. But then we really went into, ooh, hey, Wookie Lee. We went into some clarity stuff. And I want to go through this probably pretty quickly with you. Give me 5 more minutes. I'll let you guys have your evening. And if you want to chat about being in my Accelerator program, links in the bio, DM me.
So.
But look, your next level is not just about being more productive. It's about being effective at the right things that support your dreams. That's what alignment is, right? Being effective at the right things that actually support your dreams. And he said high performers have great levels of clarity for themselves, for their social networks.
Stephen Covey wants his terminology back, because I think wasn't he the one who talked about the high performance people, 7 Habits of High Performers, or whatever that book was.
For their skill sets, and for service. And so he says there's 4 ways that you can get there. Number 1 is your daily reflection. Okay? So if you want to have more clarity, you need to
hold on, people. I need to get pen and paper over here because I need to be writing this down. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. I've got I'm going to put this on my fridge. Number 1, I need a daily reflection. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Day was. You need to reflect on your health, reflect on your mental health, reflect on your emotions, reflect on your partnerships, reflect on your relationships, reflect on your family, your friends, etc. Reflect on your experiences of the day, reflect on your finances for the day, reflect on what you've learned today. Have you grown today? Ask yourself that. If you have, you can put a yes in the chat. If you haven't, let's get to it. Okay, let's get to it. Right? Measure all of the performance habits that get you that clarity. And just observe yourself. It's like, I talk about this all the time. I talk about character, and I say, the reason I'm not worried about what anybody says about me anywhere is because when I put my head on the pillow at night, right over there in this room over here, I'm happy and proud.
I don't mean to cut Jessie off like that. Of course she goes to sleep well at night. She's like comfortable in the scam at all times. And as far as her character, I don't think, yes, I don't think we have appreciated that you have spent your entire life as an adult in the pursuit of money, and in order to gain that money, it has been involved in a business model that leaves the majority of the individuals who participate, like 99% from statistics given, without any type of real income made. So yeah, I think that is somewhat problematic. Keep going.
Proud about the person that I am. I'm happy and I'm proud about the woman that I am. I'm happy and proud about what I did every single day. Whether I made you happy and proud is actually none of my concern. It's if I've made myself happy and proud, if I've lived up to my...
And that's how a grifter grifts, is because they have no conscience while they do what they do. They have none whatsoever. And so the people who are misleading her about how to care for herself while she has stage 4 cancer have no conscience either about it. It's just wild. It's just wild to me. And I'm sorry if the light's changing. I don't want to increase the ring light because I feel like I'll really mess the light up. So I apologize. Part 2 always has different lighting. I'm working on my studio in my spare room. Let's go.
Standards, if I'm in alignment with myself. And a lot of you are so concerned with what other people are worried about or what other people are saying, you're never going to gain clarity by worrying about a bunch of people that are probably not even in alignment with you. Who are the people that you're trying to impress all the time? Are you even paying attention to yourself? Are you even paying attention to the things that bring you joy? Are you paying attention to the things that have set your soul on fire? Like, the answer for a lot of you is probably no. Right? You're so focused on what, I know this isn't real, but what Noelle thinks over here on Instagram, or Whit thinks over here on Instagram, or what Cheryl's worried about on Facebook, or what Yvette thinks, or am I making...
I'm sorry, most grown adults have no time to be worried about any of that nonsense. I mean, admittedly, maybe in the workplace, there can be colleague conflict, and that's never fun. And so, in that respect, I think I would almost give Jessie some agreement. All right, let's keep going.
Making Jamie happy, they're not really sharing the video, so they must not like my message, right? Like, there's none of that. It's I needed to get this message out of me because me sharing this message with every single one of you actually fulfills my purpose. Like, my coaching is better than ever because I am more aware than ever that there are limited days on this earth. Right? When you know that there are limited days on this earth and you actually understand...
Please. I don't want this video of mine to be a hallmark moment or a truth moment when you talk about limited days. Yes, obviously. But, that's paying it a little bit close to the sleeve, as they say. And I've only got reflection 1. Or... Point 1 here, daily reflection.
There are limited days on this earth. You
we have 4.
Perform even better. I feel like I have stepped up in my leadership. I have stepped up in my coaching. I've stepped up in the way that I teach. I've stepped up in the way that I train. I've stepped up in all these different ways because I know that tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I know a lot of you know that because you read your Bible or whatever your religion.
Please don't pivot to Christ.
Until you get a diagnosis that a lot of people die from, you don't really understand it the way people like me are understanding it, right? You don't really step into that the way that somebody like me who goes, ooh, every single day I'm going to step into a higher level of purpose. Every single day I'm going to make sure I'm proud. Oh, you're not happy with...
You know what? This is what, really irritates me about these grifters, and I'm just going to call them for what they are, because I believe they're just absolute grifters. They always insist on knocking people down and insisting that nobody else feels purpose the way that they feel purpose. If your purpose is shilling and doing trials or whatever of really questionable ultra-processed keto products, then you seriously have issues, because that is not a purpose, okay? A purpose is going to work and saving lives, whether it's a firefighter or it's a doctor or a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner or an EMT or a police officer or a Coast Guard. I could think of 1,000 other professions where people are really contributing to society, and whatever the shenanigans that you and the fellow grifter crew of Burchard, I can't even say his name correctly, and Robbins and all of those, and God rest his soul, Dave Hollis, then no, it's absolute garbage. God, you go to sleep because you have no conscience, lady. Gosh, I mean, really, you really don't. And it's been shown in multiple ways of your behavior, which I will not get into in this video. Let's keep going before I run out of camera battery again.
With me. Okay, but guess what? I'm really proud of who I am. I'm really proud of how far I've come. I'm really proud of the woman I am. I'm proud of the friend I am. I'm proud of all of the things I've done. And I want to leave a ridiculous legacy behind. And so now more than ever, I'm going to find those white spaces and flow more than ever, have more success than ever, because everything in my life will only be done in alignment with me. If that makes sense, give me a flame below, because I feel like those last 2 minutes I just preached, I don't even know where it came from, okay?
Oh, please, no.
The second thing is you have to follow and record your positive emotions. And this is something that I found.
What was that? Follow and record. She threw 2 out on me really quick. Positive emotions. Did I get that right? I don't know. Let's just continue.
To be very easy, because I got diagnosed with freaking stage 4 colon cancer, okay? So I'm writing so much more, I'm journaling so much more, I'm so much more present in what I'm paying attention to, right?
Except her doctors.
I write down those moments. When I laugh so hard I'm crying, I write down those moments. I want to make sure that I know when I'm positive, when I make a big sale, when somebody joins platinum, there's like when I do whatever, when I have I don't have any PRs at the gym right now, so bad example. Yesterday I did the 20 push-ups for the first time in 9 weeks because I had surgery, right? And to me, I recorded that. I wrote it down. I said, this is the first day I've come back from surgery and I've done my 20 push-ups. Like, this is amazing. Like, I feel so good. And I'm writing out these positive emotions. Now, here's the thing. That way, you have clarity. These are moments of insight. These are moments of clarity. These are moments of ahas. These are moments of, oof, I learned. These are the...
I have 1,000 million things that I need to be doing than writing down, like, every positive emotion I have. I'm sorry. I really have 1,000 other things I need to be doing. That's why I looked into links down below. Brendon Burchard's Growth Day app, and I was exhausted just looking at it. I'd much rather be in grad school studying to be a nurse practitioner than this BS.
The good days. You have so many moments of interaction, right? And so many of you have had great days. You've had a funny moment with your best friend, with your children, with your partner, with whatever. You were so connected. Have you written those things down? Have you been present? Did you take a video? Have you even thought to share it with your best friends? You've recorded it. Right? It's more like most of us go through life, we don't have clarity because we sit there and something happens, we go, woohoo, I did it! And you move right on. And then the next day you go right back into the grind, and it's Groundhog Day all over again, right? Some of you have these huge checks. It's like, I watched this documentary on Netflix. I'm trying to roll my eyes a million times right now. Love this guy. He's actually a friend, but like,
oh my God. Oh God. Jessie Lee, humble brag, and I dread to think what garbage she's referring to on Netflix. Not like garbage like that, but like whatever the, scientific foolery that they have sometimes going at that, alternative medicine that they sometimes like to play on Netflix and give credence to when credence should not be given.
a month one time in her business, and I don't even think she wrote it down. She kind of noticed it, and then when stuff started going backwards, she didn't get into the positive emotions. She went right back into the grind. And then when COVID corrected her business, she went, oh man, she didn't even notice there's a theme. And so a lot of you don't even notice when there's themes, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's, either way, you don't even notice. You're just back into the same hustle over and over and over again, expecting different results. You guys, you have to change. If you look at my life right now, everything has changed in my life. Right? If you look at how I wake up in the process I have in the morning, it's completely different than 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I didn't know that I had cancer. 3 months ago, I was just going about my day and my routines and my hustle culture and all this stuff. I was carnivore, for God's sakes. All I ate was meat. Hello, I'm a vegan.
Was it 3 months ago? I thought it was a little earlier than that. Maybe it was anything. And every time she calls herself a vegan, I actually eat a plant-based diet, and probably it would be more considered a vegan because I've been a vegetarian all of my life pretty much, and my reasons for becoming vegan were based primarily on ethical reasons. She's just doing this because she doesn't want to do chemo and she thinks it's saving her life. So Jessie, you're on a plant-based diet. You are not a vegan, which has an ethical component. So please, if you are such a voracious reader, read a little bit about that.
Again, right? I wake up differently. I have to be in sunlight before I ever get on my phone, which means the dogs get walked, the dogs get fed. I do meditation. I have the biocharger on. I've done half of my supplements for the morning before I ever touch my phone, which that means that's 2.5 hours into my day. It's different.
I don't want to keep stopping because I'm really trying to make some time traction on this and we don't have much more left. But supplements, I always like to recommend only take supplements if your doctor has told you are deficient in something or has recommended you taking a supplement. A lot of times they can actually have interactions with medications. A lot of times people can actually over-supplement and that can cause more harm than good. A lot of times the supplements may not actually contain what they state. I don't understand why anybody who's young, fit, or healthy would need to be massively supplementing when you should be getting everything that you need for food. And if everything in your body, in your colon, everything was functioning correctly, you should be absorbing everything. But it's a conversation you need to have with your doctor. Don't just start supplementing. It's not really a good plan.
I'm totally out of that grind. I'm completely doing different things, right? And I'm telling you, if you pay attention to this, there's like a through line. There's a through line to clarity. The through line is, what are the things that make me happy? What are the people that make me happy? What are the experiences that brought me joy? What are the topics that I'm learning about that are giving me positive emotions?
Sorry,
and you're feeling positively emoted right now.
Like,
then why aren't you following, right? I mean, I'm guessing everyone who's watching right now follows. If you haven't yet, hit the follow button. Don't be silly. This is just how I speak, okay? I have a little outline here on my notes. This is what you're getting off.
She's a real
This is just
scholar.
how I coach. This is how I train. This is what I do. I'm telling you, if you're feeling...
I'm so glad she's so well prepared when she trains. I'm so glad she has so many sources from true studies that she's able to cite, That's... Oh my God, if you could see the number of books that I had sitting over here and numbers of, journal articles from peer-reviewed studies I read on a continuous basis, blow these people's minds away.
A positive emotion, you follow when you come back to it.
Most
of you will watch me one time, you might not follow me, you might not like my stuff, you might not ever join my coaching program, and then you're going to wonder years, weeks, months down the road, you're going to go, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? It's going to be the same thing over and over again. Something has to change in order for you to change. I know you get this, but common sense is not always common practice. And if everybody was doing all the things that made all the...
I'm sorry, there's a lot of things that are also outside of people's control, and that's why, for me, sorry if I hit the camera, this sort of rhetoric is really toxic in my mind, because there are so many factors that can be outside of somebody's control that can really impact somebody's life. It could be just the location of where they live, their access to healthcare, their access to unemployment, education, their socioeconomic status, their gender, their sexuality. It can be a number of factors. And this is where this toxic positivity is just so inappropriate and where I have a problem with it.
common sense and all, like the world would be a different place. You guys know these things, but when you get those shifts in your perspective, some of you get it, you have an epiphany for 5 minutes and you go right back to it. Don't do that if you want to have clarity, okay? Next thing, if you need some clarity, is you got to get to training, okay? In order to get to that, you have to train, and this is monumentally important, okay?
This is number 3, training.
I know a lot of people,
clarity.
a lot of you,
okay.
But you have hopes and you have dreams, and then you just go,
how do these match?
I don't know what to do. You know, you see people on the internet, you see people with fancy houses or cars or clothes or whatever, travel, etc. You see this stuff, right? You see the Birkin bags, you like whatever. You go to my closet. You see my closet and you go, oh my gosh, how does she have this lifestyle? Oh my gosh, she okay, whatever. Okay, and you go, I don't know what to do. And look, what do you mean you don't know what to do? Stop browsing the internet constantly.
I mean, she will learn nothing. I don't know if anything will ever be learned by this human by the time she, has something happen, because she's in stage 4 cancer. It's been months since she has received that. She knows it's in her lymph nodes. She's commented, and her mind, she thought it was good because she thought it was far away from the colon. That's obviously not really clearly understanding how cancer spreads in the body and how it, what we call, metastasizes to other parts of the body. And one of the things that we always get concerned about is whether the cancer is now becoming transported to other organs. And most importantly, we certainly don't want to think it's going to the liver or to the brain or any of those locations. And the lymphatic system is a great way. So if it's further away, that means that cancer is going further away. And so the more time she spends not getting chemotherapy, which obviously is going to, it's not a fun treatment. And it's just been so long. I mean, I would be really hesitant to take advice. And all she cares about is Birkin bags and, all these superfluous things that, I promise you, when I worked as a hospice nurse, none of the people I cared for at end of life were, crying out for any of this garbage that she's talking about now. None of them did. Not one. I'll tell you about someone asking for the keys to the truck, but that's a different story.
Constantly for inspiration, which is what a lot of people do. We spend all this time, what's going to inspire me today? What's going to motivate me today? What's going to make me get out of bed today? That has to come internally, right? Okay, start looking for education.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. Seriously, if you have that, difficulty getting out of bed, that could be more of a sign of a depressive disorder. So don't listen to this toxic positivity. You actually need to listen and speak to a licensed clinical professional who deals with mental health, because most of us shouldn't feel that way. That's not normal. I mean, if it's repetitive, like if something really bad's happened, that's understandable. But for the most part, if it's continual, I would suggest that you do speak to somebody.
For education. Stop searching for your motivation and start looking for education. And if you start to get that clarity on the things,
I would enjoy
doing that. That looks like something I would be successful at. That looks like a career or a hobby or a path that is in alignment with who I am. I feel good when I'm doing these things. Well, then go that direction. If you go that direction, you'll find that clarity, and then you have to
listen to Jessie and her white privilege at this moment in time. I mean, all of these people have a sad story, but they all have a lot of white privilege in common too. And even I can recognize things like that for myself. But these people are just they're very unaware. Sorry, my voice is not great today. I'm sorry.
Double, triple, quadruple down on education in it. Okay? A lot of you don't know how to run businesses. You're staring at somebody who's built multiple multi-million-dollar businesses. I know how to do it, and yet a lot of you won't hire me as a coach. Makes no sense, but whatever, keep doing it.
Right, because
the next thing you have to do, and I think I'm done after this, is you have to dive deep on that. So let's say you find something and you're like, I really like this. I want to be the best. I want to build the best dog park in all the world, or I'll give a good example. Screw this, okay? I'm going to give the good example of what's happening right now in my life, right? I care deeply about living. Deeply. deeply about living. If you cannot tell, if you are following me at all, you can probably tell I am deeply moved by the idea of living, okay? And so I am excited for that. So since I care deeply about it, since I have clarity around it, and I also have clarity that came very clearly through my intuition on how I'm supposed to treat this, I'm supposed to cure this, I will have a cure for this. So don't you worry about me, I'm not dying, all right? Like, I need you to think here, how do you
I think some of us might disagree.
dive deep on that? If you care deeply about a business, if you care deeply about a passion, if you care deeply about a project that's on your heart, a hobby that you currently have, something that you're currently being called to do over and over again, some of you will just look at one person, or like you'll read a book on it, or you'll go to one seminar on it, or you'll have one training, or you have one phone conversation. What if you care deeply about something and then you dove so deep inside of it that you could not get more involved? If you start asking me stuff about
Yeah, it's called like going to school, like university, or doing a postgraduate study. My postgraduate's going to be like 3.5 years and 500 clinical hours. She's just, this is bizarre. I mean, really, so out of touch with the real world. Let me continue because my camera's dying.
cancer treatments right now, I literally feel like I could write my own book on how to cure cancer. I'm not cured yet, I don't know. I mean, maybe I am, I don't know. The amount of stuff I could...
I'm sorry. This lady is like, I think that's going to the brain at this point because she's losing it.
I could write a recipe book already on how to juice. I could write a resource list for cancer patients. I could write a resource list for non-cancer patients on stuff y'all need to shut the hell up and stop DMing to people who have cancer. I don't care about your uncle who died from cancer. It's the worst message you can send someone. Okay? Why would you say that? I mean, I got a whole list. I'm deep...
And I don't care if you think you're the new Jehovah and you do have the cure for cancer. What I do dislike is that you are out on your public platform saying exactly this shenanigans. This, you have not found a cure for cancer. You don't know the answers. There is no scientific evidence that shows any link between vegetable juicing and curing cancer, because if that were the case, I promise you, every person that I took care of in Santara and at the hospice house would have been, there would have been just a juice factory out of there. This is just something seriously and mentally wrong with this individual.
Deeply into all the holistic stuff, right? And I've been researching the chemotherapies. I've been researching CAR-T. I've been researching immunotherapies. I've been researching best oncologists. I've been researching. I'd fly anywhere in the world. I've researched, I think, 6 different hospitals in Mexico so far, right?
Oh, God.
I care deeply about living right now, so I could not get more involved. Does that make sense?
Jobs.
Like, I am so deeply called to make sure I know what I am passionate about, make clear on my life to have the path to health, that it's what I'm focused on. So if it's business for you, why do you read a book on recruiting and think that you're going to become a master recruiter? How's that working out for you? Why do you read a book on sales or go to a sales seminar and read a chapter or listen to a speaker? Or you go to something about real estate. You want to get into real estate, so you go to one real estate convention. Are you kidding me? It's the reason I go to every event. It's the reason I've had coaches for the last 12 years. It's the reason I continue to show up constantly at everything. It's the reason I still go to masterminds. It's the reason I wanted to learn about real estate. I joined a real estate mastermind I go to every single quarter, and every single week I get on a call. Because it's not just me saying I want to do something, it's me saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to dive all the way in to do so. And a lot of us don't do that, and then again, we expect different results. So once you get clear on everything, that's your path to success. And most of you skip over all these extra steps and you try to jump right into success when it's not working for you. And so I loved my conversation with Brendon today. I felt so called. And I'll also just say, if people are not in alignment with you, just get them out of your life. If things you're doing are not in alignment with you, stop doing them. Get them out of your life, right? You have one life to live. And I know this is going to be
that's prophetic.
A lot of the time, just moving forward in my life. But you really do.
That's very prophetic, Jessie Lee. And I just, we all are wishing you well, but... to say that you've done, that's a bad place to stop, that you've done all this research and stuff, oh my gosh, it's just very diluted.
You get one life. So stop acting like it's YO2, it's YOLO, right? You live once, okay? You guys, we're living once. So give it all you...
And I lived in Mexico for 7 years, and I keep stopping her, unfortunately. And, be very cautious. Steve Jobs went out to India or something and tried to do some sort of, alternative therapy for his pancreatic cancer, and it didn't turn out so well for him in the end.
Become a top performer. Get some clarity in what you're doing. Get yourself
way more money.
Start learning.
Jessie
Start
Lee.
getting clear on things. And that's what I got for you today. So I'm Jessie Lee Ward. For those of you who are new to the show, I help people make 6 and 7 figures from their phone. If you
No, she doesn't. She's only herself. And I'm my
$7 a month. So
Mel Robbins and everybody else.
I love y'all. I appreciate you. Make sure you follow me. And I hope you got value from this today. I know that I just got that inside my body, and I feel really good about it. So hopefully you can go get it out of yours as well. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was wild. I love all the stuff that comes up on my screen afterwards. So anyway, if you like this type of content, hit the, like as I said earlier, my name's Ray. That was Jessie Lee Ward, claiming that she's now got the cure for cancer. And I guess, we need to get her on the panel for a Nobel Prize. No, seriously, people. Take sometimes some of these people. I would never say don't eat healthfully. I think that's really important if you have such a serious diagnosis. But I think the way that she's sort of stating and claiming that she is now an expert in this. Sorry, I hit my camera. Expert in this is very misguided. I don't think that juicing has been proven at all with any evidence or randomized controlled trials to be effective in stage 4 colon cancer. I think that we're going to have to keep an eye on this and just be very cautious when you listen to some sort of fake guru. Even people like me, but I'm going to cite my sources down below so that you can actually see that I use legitimate sources. So anyway, I hope everyone takes care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.